Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Right now, there's a movement quietly organizing over 100 million Nigerian youth to become what they call critical stakeholders in the Nigerian project. That's not just impressive, that's potentially democracy changing. Today, we're diving into the Triafrica Youth Movement, their mission to transform Nigeria through youth leadership, and how they're building political infrastructure from school campuses to federal government. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how youth movements are reshaping African democracy and what this means for the continent's future. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Triafrica Youth Movement trying to accomplish?
According to their official mission statement, Triafrica Youth Movement is dedicated to mobilizing and empowering young people across Nigeria to become active participants in leadership and nation building. But here's what makes them different. Their mission is to drive positive political, social, and economic change by fostering unity, accountability, transparency, and grassroots engagement.
Wait, so they're not just about youth empowerment, they're specifically targeting political change?
Exactly. They're building what they call a network of informed and visionary youths committed to transforming Nigeria's future. And they're doing this through strategic advocacy, civic education, and community participation at the federal, state, local government, and school campuses.
That's incredibly ambitious. How big are we talking here?
Their registration page mentions organizing over 100 million Nigerian youths. To put that in perspective, that's like trying to organize the entire population of Germany. They're running what they call a 5-meter youth membership drive as their current campaign.
100 million? That's insane. But why Nigeria specifically, and why now?
Well, the timing is actually perfect when you look at the broader African context. According to the African Union, Africa has the youngest population in the world, with more than 400 million young people aged between 15 to 35 years.
Wow, 400 million across the continent.
Right, and here's the challenge. According to Leap Africa's strategic plan, more than 72 million young people in Africa are neither employed, educated, nor in training. That's a massive untapped resource.
So there's this huge demographic of young people who could be driving change but aren't currently engaged in the system.
Exactly. And the World Economic Forum projects that Africa's youth population will reach 850 million by 2050. By 2063, young people will constitute half of the continent's 2 billion working-age population.
Those numbers are staggering. So Triafrica is essentially trying to get ahead of this demographic wave?
That's exactly right. Their platform promotes what they call political literacy, ethical leadership, and active citizenship among youths. They believe that sustainable democracy thrives when young people are informed, involved, and inspired to lead.
Okay, so that's the why. But how are they actually doing this? What does their strategy look like on the ground?
They're taking a multi-layered approach. Through workshops, policy dialogues, community outreach, digital advocacy, and leadership training programs, they're fostering what they call a new generation of informed and responsible leaders.
That sounds comprehensive, but also pretty broad. Are they targeting specific groups?
Actually, yes. Their membership structure is really interesting. They have age categories, 15, 25, then 26, 35 for what they call older youth, then 36, 49, and even a wisdom group for 50 and above.
Wait, they're including people up to 50 in a youth movement?
It shows they understand that creating lasting change requires mentorship and institutional knowledge. They're working alongside students, young professionals, higher institutions, and local partners.
That's actually really smart, building bridges between generations rather than just organizing young people in isolation.
Exactly. And they're guided by what they call compassion, inclusion, and collaboration. They explicitly state that everyone is welcome to explore your passions and make a difference.
But let's talk about the political side. How are they actually trying to influence governance?
They're working to bridge the gap between young citizens and decision makers. Their goal is to equip youth with the knowledge and skills needed to participate meaningfully in governance at the federal, state, local government, and community advocacy levels.
So they're not just protesting or complaining, they're actually trying to get young people into the system?
Right. They encourage transparency, inclusiveness, and sustainable development. It's about creating systemic change from within rather than just external pressure.
That's a really different approach than what we often see with youth movements. Most focus on protest or opposition.
And this connects to a broader continental trend. The African Union has developed several youth development policies, including the African Youth Charter and Youth Decade Plan of Action, all focused on ensuring the continent benefits from its demographic dividend.
So there's institutional support for this kind of youth engagement at the continental level?
Absolutely. The African Youth Charter protects young people from discrimination and ensures freedom of movement, speech, association, religion, and other human rights, while committing to promoting youth participation throughout society.
That's fascinating. So Triafrica isn't operating in a vacuum, they're part of a larger continental movement.
Exactly. And when you look at organizations like the Organization of African Youth, which operates with 35 chapters across Africa, you see this is a continent-wide phenomenon. OA Youth works to motivate, unify, and empower African youth to be drivers of Africa's social, political, and economic transformation.
Interesting. So what makes Triafrica specifically unique in this landscape?
Their focus on Nigeria is strategic. Nigeria has the largest